What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Talking Markets. My name is Trevor. I'm here joined with Brian. Brian, how's it going?
Great, man. Good to see you, Trevor. Super interesting start to the week. I'm excited to get into
Yeah,
this jobless claims news that just popped up.
definitely. And the new feature you were talking about for sentiment as well. I'm excited. So let's get started. U.S. jobless claims actually rise to 190,000, with the estimated to be 195,000, with the previous at 192. I think what's interesting about this is that there's a bullish and bearish case for this. The bullish case is that the U.S. jobless claims actually decreased from the previous period by 2,000, and it also is 5,000 less from the estimated period. And with that, that could, it could mean that more people are working, more money in the economy, which would overall be good for the entire economy. But the bearish way to look at this would be to think that Chair Powell has actually previously stated that he wants to see the U.S. jobless claims actually rise to be even higher. So he basically said he wants to see that more people are unemployed until he can start decreasing his rate hikes and go from hawkish to dovish. So I'm kind of interested to see where this is going to go in the future and if Chair Powell will continue to rise interest rates or what will happen. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are bearish or bullish about this. Next thing I wanted to talk about is also just the fact that Dogecoin has dropped 10% in the past week as Elon Musk turns attention to AI. But overall, I think it's kind of interesting to see that Elon Musk has actually, it seems to be like he's decoupling from the cryptocurrency market. And, whereas previously when he would make a tweet about anything crypto related, the entire market would just pump upon that reaction. But I think recently that's starting to change a little bit. Of course, Doge is still affected, but I think it's much less than where it was previously. Next thing I wanted to talk about was Silvergate. So if you guys don't know, Silvergate basically acted as an exchange for people to move their fiat currency, like USD, and put it into crypto. So they basically acted as that exchange middleman for cryptocurrency exchanges. Just recently, Coinbase has actually decided to drop them. And this was upon announcement from Silvergate that they actually delayed their annual, I believe it's called 10K, which is basically their finance report that just showcases their finances, how much money they have, and also where they plan to go in the future when it comes to finances. So they actually delayed this, and this could possibly be because Silvergate has actually reported a $1 billion loss in the fourth quarter of 2022, and this came after the collapse of FTX. So, you know, Silvergate itself, as the stock, is actually down 50%. This was on the first, or actually, sorry, the 2nd of March. It dropped 50% as the stock. And, how this is going to affect the cryptocurrency market as a whole, I'm not really sure. We basically just kind of have to see. I'm sure some people could be quite bearish on this and start pulling their, liquidity out of cryptocurrency and risk on assets. But we'll have to see what happens. Brian, let's see what you have to showcase for us today.
Absolutely. It's interesting to see Silvergate's fluctuations. Obviously, a lot of people are now attributing it heavily to the March 2nd slash 3rd collapse of crypto, basically going down about 5% instantly over the span of 1 hour right here. In my case, on the 2nd, for I think it was later in the day. So a lot of people actually saw it on the 3rd. But regardless, you can see this steep drop off where it basically matched the chart that Trevor just showed with Silvergate's price. Whereas the S&P right here, you can see it was happening kind of a couple, maybe 3 or 4 hours after the S&P had closed for the day. So it wasn't moving at that time until 6:30 a.m. PT the next day, where the S&P continued to recover and Bitcoin and Ethereum basically just stayed flat, where it's continued to do so. We have a mild rise going on today, and obviously that makes us wonder if that's related to Silvergate once again. And there's still some correlation there, considering Silvergate's up 3.5 to 4% as of the time of this recording. So I think that topic, along with the jobs stats that you just showed, Trevor, both kind of factor in to what's going on with crypto right now. Obviously, the S&P is having a good day, so whatever sentiment traders have in equities is not really impacting prices too much. If anything, it's allowing prices to go up, not down. Whereas Bitcoin and Ethereum, I mean, Bitcoin's still stuck at around 22.5K, Ethereum just a little under 1600 still. Gold is actually declining after it's gone up a bit over the past week. But yeah, regardless, it looks like crypto is kind of being suppressed at the moment by some of this negative news. Obviously, Binance has been a big topic as well. They've been in hot water with the SEC not only going after Binance USD now, but Binance itself as an entity slash exchange. So that's something to keep an eye on. Obviously, goes without saying, the largest exchange in the world by a large margin. If they are ever being threatened to, pause or cease operations or even be investigated to show its solvency, uh, those are serious concerns for the overall crypto market. If anything happened to Binance other than, just continuing to be stable, it will have a negative impact on crypto until that FUD goes away, or if the story is real and Binance actually is potentially, being impacted, which I don't think is plausible. Just my personal opinion. I think Binance is going to be around many many years without interruptions. It could have some challengers, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
Yeah, and
We
I think with, a lot of US exchanges, they may even look to go offshore,
right,
depending on, which fines they could be receiving from the SEC or whatnot. They
right.
may look to go offshore, which that would kind of be the worst case scenario for, a lot of people.
Yeah, or I mean, yeah, I think it would be more bad than good, but there could also be some upside with some expansion in decentralization and
Very true.
the
Yes.
ability for exchanges to kind of function without as many restrictions. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there, but I think, especially with the wound of FTX still being fresh in people's minds, um, people just want stability now. They want to be able to feel comfortable keeping their coins on exchanges, which is of course necessary for tokens to actually circulate. We talk all the time about how it's good when money is being moved off of exchanges, but overall, you need more and more utility to be happening on given networks in order for prices to rise. And if all of the money theoretically is just being held in self custody, it's kind of hard to be able to accomplish that. Um, and on the note of undervaluation versus overvaluation, we have this new model here. Um, it's basically an improvement on our smaller MVRV model, but now we have about 115-ish different assets that are available on Binance, and you can see them all labeled down here. Anything with a D means that they're daily updated once per day. If they don't have the D, it means they're updated hourly, so it's even more granular. Uh, but you can see with most of these assets, they are in the semi underbought territory as resembled by this yellow green color. A few of them are actually in bright green territory. BNB hooked protocol, interestingly, is the most undervalued according to this model right now. Undervalued slash underbought, depending how you want to call it. It basically means that the average trading returns when factoring in short, mid, and long-term trading is it's either well underwater, indicating green, or well over water, indicated by these red bars. And then, of course, you've got plenty of neutrals in between. If you're wondering where Bitcoin is, it is neutral, right in the middle at the moment because it's up a little bit short term, down a little bit long term. Uh, and Ethereum is worth checking out as well, also right at neutral. So they're like dead even at the moment, which matters a lot. So even if you have a lot of these altcoins showing undervalued, if Bitcoin is break even and Bitcoin goes down, it's still going to take altcoins down further with them. So ideally, you want to see these undervalued bars, but also see Bitcoin and to a lesser extent Ethereum showing undervaluation as well. That would be a really promising um, sign that you can get in at a much higher probability of prices going up in the near future than usual. So here we're looking at the average exchange funding rates for about 80 or so different assets, mostly using Binance funding rates, but we also have BitMEX, Deribit, and DYDX in here. You can see that it's kind of a mixed bag. A lot of people are longing slightly for a lot of different assets, but there are also some outliers, such as the Decentraland, seeing some pretty extreme shorts going on. Axie Infinity there, Binance Coin, Dent, Monero, uh, and what's this over here? Tron, just to name a few others. But it's if you start to see a big skew toward just shorts or just longs, that's when the opposite is likely to be coming true uh, in a very probable way. So watch to see if most bars start turning green. That would be a great time to buy historically. Or if they all start turning red, that's a great time to start taking profits and protect your assets a little bit. So just wanted to point that out too. But yeah, I think we've covered some good topics here, Trevor. And you know, maybe we
Definitely,
can
definitely.
maybe we can wrap up and just sort of talk about what to look for over the next week. In my mind,
Yeah.
I think that the jobs market that you brought up is a very key point. Do you have any suggestions on your end that we should keep an eye on?
No, I just think, we should wait until the next Chair Powell meeting
Yeah,
and FOMC meeting and how that's going to be. But I think that'll ultimately dictate the entire market, obviously, including risk on assets like crypto, you know.
completely agreed. Yeah, the correlation with crypto and equities is still very much there. And even with,
Hmm.
the Silvergate uh, drop from a few days ago, kind of skewing things. I wouldn't be surprised to see it click right back into place, especially once Powell releases his next big move.
Yeah, definitely, definitely interested to keep following the S&P 500 and its correlation because it's interesting that it has kind of decoupled a little bit here recently. So
100%. Yeah, biggest break in correlation in a while. So we'll see.
yeah,
But in the meantime, Trevor, thanks as always. I think we'll be talking again in a
yeah,
few days here. Um,
yep, on Friday. So make sure
of
to stay tuned
course.
for that, everyone. And yeah, we'll see you guys then.
Cheers, guys.
Take
Thanks,
care.
Trevor.